sort of an addendum to all of this with on the spiritual path, question arises of what self are we talking about when we're talking about self-discipline? And I want to encourage you not to get too caught up in that kind of thinking, that kind of exploration, rumination. It's true, that insight of anatta, non-self, the emptiness of forms, the emptiness of all forms, the emptiness of self, that we're talking about consciousness, a movement of consciousness, and this idea of an individual self more and more is seen through. And so you can get kind of, with Advaita Vedanta and with certain Buddhist teachings, non-duality, you can get into this place of a recognition of what is beyond form. And that's true. It's valid. But then you can get kind of twisted up around this idea of doership. Who is the one doing the self-discipline, and am I reinforcing a sense of self by thinking in those terms? And it it doesn't really matter. It's not really useful to go down that path. To have like the perfect Advaita Vedanta, or just to have the perfect to have your sort of spiritual philosophy and everything down pat and 100% pure and dotting all your non-dual I's, crossing all your non-dual T's. You see all of that stuff as useful at a certain level. Self-inquiry, definitely useful. But don't get too, if you're healing, if you're moving in the direction of healing, of wholeness, greater peace, releasing inner tensions, releasing, processing out, transmuting, repressed, frozen energies, uncompleted energies. That's important. That's what matters. And those insights sort of can arise, can be more organically, naturally with that, facilitated by that process. But healing is what matters. Peace is what matters. Wholeness is what matters. And so you don't need to worry too much about who is the self that is doing self-discipline. You just keep moving in that direction. And like I say, it becomes more habitual, becomes like there's a self-reinforcing positive feedback loop to all these virtuous habits and virtuous movement in the direction of wholeness. And so it becomes just more and more default. It becomes more and more natural. It becomes more and more effortless. It becomes more and more one's delight. Don't let the truth get in the way of your path. Don't let the truth get in the way of the truth. I just mean, don't let the sort of spiritual teaching or the ideology get in the way of the truth, which is healing, which is peace. You are that.